Hey there lovers, welcome to my channel. It's Bubbly Winnie. For those who do not know, if you're new here, please do hit the subscribe button and become part of the positive family where we're all about positivity. And if you're an old subscriber and OG baby, thank you for coming back. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a topic that is it's very like fragile. I don't know if it's the right word, but it's very sensitive for me, and I really it's very sensitive. It's a very sensitive issue. I know it's not only for me, but it's for everyone that has gone through the thing, right? And it's very sad. Even sometimes when you think about it, you want to cry if you've been in that situation, and that's totally fine, because it's not a good situation to be in. And yeah, so today we'll be talking about abuse. I know I mentioned abuse in one of my videos where I was talking about forgiveness, and how I forgave my stepdad even when he didn't ask for forgiveness. But in today's video, I want to tackle the effects of abuse on children, and I'm going to be talking in a sense of the child in the situation of the abuse, and not not experiencing abuse directly, but indirectly, because someone who's close to them is experiencing abuse. So now it kind of overlaps and falls onto them because they are related to the person who's being abused, right? In my case, I was abused because my mother was abused. So I kind of fell into that because my mother was abused. So the person who was abusing my mother kind of abused me too, because I'm my mother's daughter, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about abuse in a sense of like I got abused like directly someone else abusing me, like but abuse is still abuse, you know. Abuse is still abuse. So I just wanna talk about like the effects of abuse on children, right? Or on kids who have experienced abuse, or kids who've experienced abuse, and like how do they grow, how do they grow in that instant, right? I was subject to abuse from when was it? Let's backtrack a bit. From grade 7. Yeah, I was subject to abuse from grade 7. I was living with my mom. No, I lived with my mom and my dad together, and then my dad died when I was 7 years old, and then I had to move. I stayed with my mother for a bit, but I couldn't stay with her because she worked. So I moved to my grandmother's, and then I stayed with my grandmothers and my cousins. And then when I was doing grade 7, I moved back because my mom's work was not that hectic, and I was also now to be able to like take care of myself if I needed to, unlike that time when I was in grade 3 too. I was still young. So I moved back to my mother's place. It was not his place. It was not her place really, but let's just call it her place. I moved back to my mother's place when I was in grade 7, 2012. Yeah, I think 2012. 2012 or 2013. 2013. I'm not sure, child. I forgot. Yeah, it's a long time ago, but I was in grade 7. That's what I remember properly. I was in grade 7, and my mom had gotten herself a boyfriend, and it's so sad that sometimes you are abused by someone who's not even like someone who's just, you can just kick them out or let them out of your life, but you can't. you can just do that, but you don't do it. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you don't do it. It's just sad how someone you your mother's boyfriends just come into your life and just messes things up for you and your mom. And yeah, because I remember I was watching the story of this 16 or 15-year-old girl who was living with her mother, and her mother who was living with her mother, brother, little brother, and little sister, right? And the mother had a boyfriend who was like psychotic and abusive, and one day the boyfriend got to a point where he killed the mother, he killed the little brother in front of this 15-year-old girl and the other little girl that was the little sister. And when when the girl was crying and talking about the incident of the day when that happened, she was so weak because she was also hurt, like physically she was also hurt, because the guy was torturing them before they all died. Like, he tortured them. So like, she was in pain, but she was still talking about what happened. She was crying when she thought about all the events of that night. Yeah, it was traumatizing, and I don't know what I would have done if I was in that situation, because I think abuse does get to that point where they just want to kill you. I don't know what I would have done, because it could have easily got into that situation. And I'm just so glad, I'm so grateful that God didn't let us go through that. I don't know what I would have done. I don't know, because it's so hard when you watch that video of that little girl crying, and now she's motherless, and her little brother died also, who was just as so innocent. Like, I don't know how sick can people be to do that, you know? So yeah, I was just telling y'all how I just don't like boyfriends of parents. Yeah. So yeah, my mother had a boyfriend and they were living together, right, in my mom's place. So we lived with them. So yeah, I was subject to abuse from grade 7. I was really, really young then. I think I was 13, 12 then. Yeah, I was 13, I think. I was still young to be subject to abuse then, but I was subject to abuse then. He would hit my mother. He would like shout at my mother, shout at me. He would call me all sorts of names. He would call me a pig. He'd call me Svebe. He'd call me all sorts of names. He called my mother all the same name. He was very, very abusive, was controlling, wanted to go with my mother anywhere she goes, even go like society in Sabasadi, he wants to be there. He was so like, if he felt entitled to that, and here we were just there, like, and didn't do anything about it. Like, through all the abuse, we were just sitting there. Like, I don't understand why, but we did. And then yeah, that was then. And then I moved to, I didn't move, I think I went on holiday. I went on holiday at my grandma's house, and then I went on holiday at my grandma's house, and then my mother told me that he'd broken up with the guy. So yeah, there was then the guy. Yeah, I never got to see him again. And then my mother found another boyfriend, that was in grade 9, grade 9 or grade 8, but soon immediately after that other guy. He was also abusive. He was a psycho too. Like, I don't know if it's bad luck or what, but like, he was abusive too. This one would manipulate and make you feel wrong. Like he was very good with minds and making you feel like you're the wrong person here, even when he is abusing you or doing all this to you. He, what is this called, gaslighting you. He was really good with gaslighting you. He'd make you feel like you're wrong, and you think, oh, I'm so wrong, I'm the one who's making him hit me, I'm the one who's making me. This one would go all out. He would hit me, hit my mother, pour hot tea on my mother, almost killed my mother. Like he would just, that one was too much. It was too much. And as a young girl, I am growing. You would understand, I'm growing and I'm experiencing all of this. I'm thinking, oh, my mother is weak. I'm thinking I'm weak, and I don't want to be weak. I don't want to be weak. I don't want to be like my mother. That's what I've always told myself. I want to be like my mother because of the environment I grew up in, of abuse. I always felt like I don't want to be in that situation where I feel as weak as I did when we were living with that man. Right? Like I felt so weak. I felt like men are just controlling, and they control everything in our lives, and they're just super powerful. And now I don't want a man to come and tell me what to do, you know. So in that sense, I'm saying like the effect it has on you, it's very powerful. Sometimes it creates in children fear of men. It creates in children fear of men. Yeah, it did create fear of men in me, but not in that, like not that much. But sometimes for children it creates fear in men. You fear men, you fear the abuser, you fear people who look like the abuser, you fear people who like are like the abuser. You know, if the abuser was a man, you'd fear men. If the abuser was white, you'd fear white people. If the abuser was black, you'd fear black men. You know, you'd fear somebody who likes wearing a black jacket because the abuser wore a black jacket. So it creates that fear in you, whereas you don't let other people in because you fear them, because you feared him. So it creates a lot of fear in kids, right? And also it creates that stubbornness in kids, like it did to me. To me, it created the stubborn girl who just doesn't want to hear anything from men. It created that. It started with the guy, the man, the abuser. I was so stubborn. He made me veld. He made me veld. Like he made me so veld. He made me like I'm like, I don't care no more if you kill me, child. But like I am gonna listen to you. I'm gonna do this. Like I don't want to do this, and I don't care what you do to me. Like it created that like home shop or meta veld, how did I meta veld? You just speak to a child normally. It created that to me. Like I was so stubborn towards him, even though I wouldn't say anything. Like I'm just that type of girl, that type of person who doesn't shout. What? I don't do that. Maybe sometimes I shout to my boyfriend. Not really shout, but I just speak loudly to other people sometimes. But like when it gets to like being like serious and stuff, I just keep quiet and I just keep quiet. I just keep quiet and shut up. You talk to me, I'll not see anything back. I just shut up because I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk anymore. I just don't want to do this with you. I don't care what you do. I just don't want to do this with you. So just stop talking. It created that to me. And then he would try to get something out of me. And I wouldn't say anything. He'd try to get something out of me. And I wouldn't say anything. I don't want to speak. And he would get mad because I'm not saying anything. And he'd hit me because he'd think, oh, stubborn man, you think you're a woman. You think, you know, it created stubbornness in me, and ain't nobody gonna tell me something, and ain't nobody gonna tell me anything. Attitude, that's what it created to me. right? Even now it's still there, like ain't nobody gonna tell me anything. And also what it did, because I used to be quiet, I used to keep quiet there and let him do what he wanted, let him speak over me and do that. Now I don't want you to be speaking over me. I can shout too. I'm gonna shout back at you, right? So it created that, like, to me, created that I just don't want you to come here and tell me don't come here and tell me and control my life and trying to make me do things I don't want to do, and come here and trying to be controlling and possessive over me. I don't want that. I don't want that. It created that for me. Even now, I just don't want to be told what to do, especially by men. I get so irritated and frustrated because I'm seeing my stepfather try to control my life. He tried to control everything of mine, everything. He tried to control where I go to varsity. He tried to control who I associate myself with, where I go, what I use, what I do. He tried to control everything of me and my mother. So I don't want a man to come and control me now. I don't want that. That's what it created. It created a new mentality, right? What it also did, I think, and what it also, I think, it creates to young people and children that are growing up, it's that if you were in a domestic violence situation while growing up, and you know your father or your stepfather always told you guys that they love you, and then at the end of the day they hate you, and then they tell you guys, I'm hitting you because I love you and I don't want you to get out of line. When you grow and you date someone and you get a man, you want to get a man that's like your father or your stepfather, because that's what they said love was, right? They said they love you, they hit you because they love you, they don't want you to get out of line. When you get a man who does not hit you and try to control you, you think they don't love you, because that's not the type of love you're exposed to. You're exposed to the abusive type of love, which is not love. It's not love. It's not. I am realizing that now. It's not love. So I got to not want a man who's firm and, yeah, you're not going there. Yeah, no. And you're not speaking to this one. You're not speaking. Yeah. So I wanted I wanted a man who would be like that, because that's what I was exposed to when I was growing up. A man who was who had toxic masculinity. I think that was what it's called. Yes, I wanted a man with toxic masculinity. I wanted a man who would come and tell me I can't go there, and I won't go. I wanted a man who would know how to tell me not to go somewhere, or I wanted a man who would know how to tell me, like a man who's. I wanted an abusive man because I thought an abusive man was a good man. So that's what it created in me, that it created fear of men. And then I got over the stage of fearing men, and then I was in a stage of not wanting men to around and tell me what to do and control me. And then I got over the stage of wanting them to fuck off, and then I got to a stage where now I want a man who I'm gonna fear in a relationship. I don't want a man who is not gonna come and hit me or do this. I want a man who come and tell me, hey, why did you do this? And why did you talk to this person? I told you not to talk to this person. Now I hate you because I love you and I don't want you to talk to this person because it's not good for you. Hey, I wanted that man, kind of man like that. That's why my first relationship, relationship, when I got to varsity, I was with someone who was controlling. He didn't realize he was controlling, but he was. And I didn't realize it then that he was controlling, but he was controlling. He would like to know all my whereabouts and always talk to me 24 hours all the time. And I thought that was love because I used to entertain it. He would want to, if I call him, he would want to, like, sometimes he would count minutes, like if I use 60 minutes, where did the 1 minute go? It got to that point sometime. And I can't talk to this, I can't talk to that. And now it got to the point where I would borrow him money and he would not bring it back. I'd give him things, he would not bring it back. He was just controlling. He was just controlling, and I thought it was love, because I cried for him when we broke up, because I thought it was love, but it wasn't love. It wasn't love. The sooner we realized that it wasn't love, the better. The sooner we realize that those toxic masculinity men are not good men, and we deserve good men, right? We deserve men who respect us. We deserve men who respect what we do, respect the people that we associate with, we hang out with, and men who will respect your decisions and your opinions in a relationship, and men who will give you love. It's not because we don't argue. Sorry for the noise. I live with kids here, so because we don't argue or fight in our relationship, that does not mean that it's not healthy. People should just get over that thing of that. When you're not fighting in a relationship, we are not healthy. I remember some YouTubers was talking about it, that that's down. Like that mentality is down, and we need to get with things that we deserve right now. Like, we deserve love. We deserve a relationship that is super healthy, to a point where even fighting and fussing and arguing is not a thing that you think should be there in a relationship. So let's just get used to being nurtured and loved and pampered as women, and not that bullshit of being hidden, that bullshit of being controlled as love. That's not love. That's not love. That is abuse. And the sooner we understand, the better we'll be in good non-toxic relationships. So that's what I was trying to say. I don't know if I ended up talking about something else, but I wanted to tell you all about the effects of abuse on us. It creates monsters in kids. Some kids grow up becoming abusive as well. Some kids grow up becoming controlling. Some kids grow up to be serial killers because of how they grew up. You know, sometimes they don't deal with it properly. It becomes a mental thing, an emotional thing, that it creates a cycle out of someone, and then we get to see serial killers, child molesters, because they've been molested before, they've been abused. That is a normal behavior for them, you know. So it creates so many monsters in us. It creates fear in us. It creates it creates mentalities that shouldn't be there in us. And yeah, abuse is so bad, you guys. Abuse is so bad, and I don't know just why people do it. But if you are in an abusive relationship, I know that it's hard, but just get out, break out of your shell, just go. If you're someone, a child who is experiencing abuse right now, I know it's so hard. Maybe you haven't told your parents yet, or your friends, or so. Just tell someone and let somebody help you, because in the end it will affect you more than you think it is affecting you right now. Like, in the long run, it's going to be super, super worse, super bad. Just tell someone, let them help you, and just know that by you speaking out and you going and reporting the abuse, and like just getting out of the abusive situation, you actually helping another woman out there who is in the same situation and wanna go, but they don't know how to do it. You're just giving them strength and showing them that it's possible to go out and still live your life and moving on with your life, and actually living a different, happy and healthy life without the person that has been abusing you. Sometimes we are so attached to our abusers that we think there's no life without them. Some of them made us believe that there's no life without them. I remember my stepdad used to tell us that without him we're nothing. He made us, we live under his roof. Without him we're nothing, we'll be homeless. And other people don't love us out there the way he loves us. That is what an abuser will make you think. But just go. Here I am. I'm so happy right now. I'm so happy. Ever since I was out of that situation house, like I've been happy. Yes, there's certain ups and downs and days where I'm not okay, but all in all, I'm so happy. I've never been happier. My high school life was horrible. My school life was horrible because of the situation of abuse that I was in. So yeah, that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. If you are in an abusive situation, relationship, if you're being abused by your uncle, your stepdad, your parent, your father, your mother, your sister, if you are being abused at all, please just go out, get help. It's okay. I know sometimes it's like they're gonna kill you, but they're just cowards. They are cowards. You abusers are cowards. They're weak. I'm telling you, they're weak. So yeah, you guys, yeah, it's a very sensitive issue. Even now my heart is like it's heavy, because I had to relive the moment. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, you guys. Not really enjoy, but I hope you learned something. Really, it's all about learning on my channel. I hope you learned something and you got inspired and you got motivated to go out of that relationship or that situationship. Yeah, until next time, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.